Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about She-Hulk compensation rank down tickets, She-Hulk specific rank down tickets. Initially I was not going to make a video about this just because there's an announcement, there's like not much questioning about it. I was like kind of like, yeah, cool, so that's definitely a good thing, but I didn't think there's enough kind of to talk about in order to warrant making a new video. However, throughout the day I was receiving just more and more questions by many different people asking, will I rank my She-Hulk down? What do I think about this situation? Am I happy now? So on and so forth. And so basically because of that I am in fact making a video. So let's go first things first. Whether I'm happy that they're giving rank down tickets for She-Hulk, I wouldn't say that happy is a real word. I would be happy if they don't change She-Hulk. I'm less upset. I kind of like I'm reasonably accepting their decision at this point, right? No, I'm not happy. I don't think the change should have been warranted in the first place, and I can explain why. Because in this video again they go over through the point that ability to chain combo into heavy attack is not intended for all champions. It's like, okay, cool, since when says who and why, right? Those are not the rules. We don't know the rules, and now you're presenting this statement as like it should be some sort of commonly acceptable norm and almost acting surprised that we don't think so. But what reason there is for us to have thought so in the first place, right? What is intended, what is not intended? We have no clue. There is no set rules, guidelines, kind of instructions. There's very little information available anywhere. So that would be like my first big thing that I would like to see from Kabam moving forward. Actually decide what is and what is not intended in your game. What is an exploit? Let us help you find these unintended interactions, but give us a goalpost. Tell us where to look, tell us what we're supposed to look for, because in this case nobody has any idea. So that is like a huge kind of forums that has been opened, and that it's still unsettling to me because there's a huge amount of uncertainty in there. Also the fact that just because she's performing better than they intended, which is exactly that they are saying in this thread, She-Hulk's abilities to slow and taunt in conjunction with this unintended mechanic were more powerful than intended. So what? Do you think you reasonably can intend powerful level of any champions? Did you think Ghost is going to be this OP? Did you think Quake is going to be this OP when you released her back in 2016 and she gained popularity years afterwards? Do you think you can kind of predict how powerful each champion is going to turn out to be precisely, and that gives you any right to change these champions just because they overperform or underperform? And worse so, do you think it is like alright just to change them out of the blue without any communication, discussion, warning, nothing? So in this case they might as well next month go like and get their way away with Ghost. They never intended Ghost to be this powerful because she's dealing with far too many situations and she's just far too good at offsetting the balance of the game. Therefore her face timer will be reduced by half and her crit damage is going to be reduced by 70%. Whatever. That is the type of thing they're kind of going for here, because She-Hulk was overperforming unintendedly. Did they intend Ghost to perform as well as Ghost is doing? I don't know. How is anybody supposed to know what their intentions are? They're not telling anything to anyone. And that is another thing that is left hanging up in there. How are we supposed to know which champions are doing exactly what they intended them to do and which ones are not? Which champions is safe to invest? Because this case they mentioned it as an exception, right? They didn't say they're going to give rank down tickets for all of the occasions where they significantly change champions. Nothing like that. They specifically made a point to say that this is an exception. We better do not expect regular rank down tickets in any kind of bug fixes and stuff. So this situation basically resulted in rank down tickets, which is cool, which is one of the better scenarios how it could have ended. Probably the best one would be they just don't go through with the change. But then again, they're saying they not necessarily promise us rank down tickets for any other future change. They also say that only reason She-Hulk is changed and singled out because there are plenty of these champions who do unintended things, like pointed out in one of my previous videos, like Luke Cage, Ultron, Old Man Logan. Old Man Logan is going to be a perfect example, which we can talk about later. But right, so these are all champions that are doing things that are not intended, and that is the excuse they are giving for this change. Let's take a look at Old Man Logan right now. Old Man Logan can do exactly the same thing. He's currently in beta test. Potentially, he's going to be a God tier champion, right? Potentially. Maybe not, maybe will. I haven't had my chance to play with him, but let's just, for the sake of it, assume that he has a potential to get there. So here's two scenarios how it's going to roll out. Old Man Logan comes out of beta test, nobody plays him, he's not popular champion. He can do the same thing She-Hulk got nerfed for, and it is actually relevant to his abilities because his heavy attack, in fact, refresh his passive bleed stacks, I think, and pauses the fury duration or something like that. So it is kind of advantageous for Old Man Logan to be able to throw this heavy attack, and perhaps that will be the difference that makes him from kind of like a meh champion into a really great one, and perhaps that will be the reason why people play him. Now here's the problem, right? If nobody plays him and if he's just meh champion, he's gonna be left alone like the rest of these champions, like Luke Cage, like Ultron, like whatever. However, if he starts overperforming what Kabam had intended him to do, because of this mechanic, they will take it away from you. They will nerf it like they nerfed She-Hulk. And so question now is, like, for you as a player, where is your security kind of investing in Old Man Logan, right? So it's a lose-lose situation, whether if you're gonna rank him up and he's gonna suck, or you're gonna sleep on him and just gonna wait what other people do, and if he sucks, right? So it's a bad beta test. But if he's good, and if you invest in him, where is the mark of good and too good? So yeah, once again, I'm not happy with rank down tickets. I mean, yeah, I'm not unhappy with the fact that there are rank down tickets, but I'm not happy with the whole incident. I'm definitely not happy with the way this was handled. The fact that we had to fight for 3 days with these rank down tickets. If anything, if they somehow justify their She-Hulk nerf, they should have come up front with these rank down tickets. And they should have warned us. They should have had a discussion about this. They should actually let us know what the goalposts are, what is and what is not intended. Because there's just too much kind of left in the gray area where everything can be interpreted by every single person differently. And that is no way to play the game, because so long as people are uncertain, they are afraid. Because that is what uncertainty does to people. And uncertain things are scary, and scary things are bad for your confidence, bad for your enjoyment of the game. If people are uncertain and afraid to rank up champions, they draw kind of naturally away from the game because they just don't know the right answer, because nobody does. So I don't know. I'm definitely not happy. Like this is not a bad announcement by any means. I'm not trying to rig on the announcement itself, but the whole situation is not good. A, could have been completely avoided. B, I don't think it should have even been brought up, honestly, and I think She-Hulk shouldn't have been changed because she wasn't breaking the game. She was helping in certain situations, same as Ronan's stun is helping in certain situations, same as Morningstar's level 2 is helping in certain situations, same as Quake or Ghost is helping in certain situations. She was not a champion that's gonna go and absolutely destroy every single champion. There were plenty of weaknesses. She-Hulk skill champions, there were champions with faster recovery speed like Jane Foster and Guillotine and whatnot, and some nodes and so on. She was not kind of Uniflex godlike creature walking around the contest. She was good, she was great, she was not in the top. But yeah, so that's that. And now, whether I will personally rank down She-Hulk, yes, I will, even if she's good. Why? It's kind of simple. I was thinking about it a bit more throughout the day, and I kind of reached a conclusion that I could compare it to, let's say, if I buy a car, right? If I buy a car that I find to be great, easy to run, great engine, everything else works perfect. And then one day somebody knocks on my door from car dealership, says, you know what, we actually sold you this car, but it's too powerful, right? We didn't intend for it to be so powerful, so we're gonna take your engine out, we're gonna replace it with half the size engine. It's gonna go 2 times as slow. It's gonna be much finickier to drive, and it's gonna be harder to run and whatnot, and maybe it's not gonna start and you're gonna have all of these problems, and you're not gonna be able to do all of these things that you used to be able to do with your car before, or you can just give it back to us. What would I do? I'd give it back and look for a new investment. I would look for a new car. That is what I'm gonna do, because the reasons why I ranked up She-Hulk, this was part of it. Obviously there are other things. Do I think she's going to be a horrible champion? No. But do I think I will enjoy playing with her like I did before? Absolutely not, because I always will remember this situation and everything that happened, and I will not look at the champion the same way that I used up to now. So no, for me it's a clear rank down decision, especially for a while. Maybe in future, eventually, if I get over it properly, I'll rank her back up. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of my car that they are absolutely ruining at the moment, and I'm just going to look for a better investment. I can rank up Domino, I can rank up Havoc, I can rank up Thing, I can rank up something else, whatever I please. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm still going to test her out before I rank her up. I'm probably going to make a video, how good is she now and stuff like that, but no, for me, it just won't be the same anymore. But yeah, that might be silly, that might be personal to some. I'm just saying how I'm gonna feel and what's my kind of reasoning behind saying I'm gonna work. Do I think she's gonna be a horrible champion? No. If people leave her at rank 5, will she be helpful in AW and some other situations? For sure. That slow mechanic is great, and yeah, that Petrify on level 2 is awesome too, and Poison Immunity and Signature ability against Science Champion School. There are many good things about the champion still, but whether she will be close to as good as she was, no. But yeah, that will be me done for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys can share some viewpoints. What do you think? Will you rank down your She-Hulk? What do you think about this entire situation with Kabam? How they handled it? Do you think that now, just because they gave us rank down tickets, they are all good with us, up in arms and doing the honorable thing, or it's still a scummy thing, just made a little bit less painful with rank down tickets? So yeah, anyways, let me know what you think, and that's it. I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya.